once again to what else? It's W3L Wrestling Showdown Rewind here on the W3L network. Thank you as always for joining me this week. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for being part of this as we continue to delve into the extensive W3L archives to bring you never before seen matches from the history of the Worldwide Wrestling League. And of course we're doing this just until we can bring you live events. Obviously, the way the world is, everything's up in the air. We do have some dates currently scheduled. This is them. These are the ones that were rescheduled from earlier in the year. All original tickets are still valid, remember. These dates are subject to change, but as soon as we know what we can do, we will tell you what we can do, but hopefully we can bring you live events sooner rather than later. This is currently what we have scheduled. And of course, when we're back up and running, we're going to have Crafty Connoisseur joining us. Their web store is always open, so you can head to that, make a purchase, they'll send it out to you, tell them that we said hello. She also mentioned fan support packages, because when they begin at £5, there's a price to suit every budget. Helps you, help us. You not only get cheap ringside tickets, you get DVDs, you get signed posters and an exclusive video message from a W3L star of your choice. That, plus a fantastic range of t-shirts and DVDs are all available from our website. I'll tell you more about them in a bit. And of course, if you want to watch more W3L action whenever you want, head to the W3L box office and you can check that out. There's a whole slew of events for you to watch. W3LBoxoffice.com. Follow the instructions to be watching them in no time. But before we get to that, why not have this week's match? Now, this is a one that I must admit I'm not entirely sure what's happening with this one. It's from the middle of 2008. All I know is that the W3L Women's Champion Sara is going to come to the ring. Beyond that, I'm as clueless as anyone else. So let's go down to ringside and see what the W3L Women's Champion has to say.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with your Wrestling Showdown Rewind. And the W3L Women's Champion Sara has come to the ring. The ring announcer, the fabled MC Tommy, backing away from women like usual. Well, you heard it there, the W3L Women's Champion Sara. She has issued an open challenge to anyone backstage to face her, I assume for the Women's Championship. And we've seen a whole bunch of talented females in W3L, so it'll be interesting to see just which one of them it is that actually answers the challenge. It could be... Wait a minute, that's E.G. Maki. He's many things, but he's not a female. And I'm not entirely sure this is quite what Sara had in mind. As far as I knew, this was a match for the Women's Championship, wasn't it? But Maki, I suppose it was an open challenge, and Maki's decided that he will answer it. Well, it's a strange turn of events, but Maki's entering the ring. We'll have to see what happens, I suppose. Or are we actually going to see Sara versus Maki? Well, referee Clarence Mikado is taking the Women's Championship belt. Oh, hold on. He's brought it across to Maki. Oh. Well, it's being held aloft. Are we about to see a defence of the Women's Championship? I mean, again, Maki isn't a woman. He's very stylishly dressed, it has to be said, but that doesn't make you female. And I mean, with all due respect, there is a gender qualification that you need to fulfil to challenge the Women's Championship, but I suppose Sara did say she would face anyone, and he was through the back, and so as a consequence, the referee has decided that this is going to go ahead. So, is it for the Women's Championship? Your guess is as good as mine. We might be about to see the first ever male Women's Championship. No, that would not go down well. I remember tales of a wrestling promotion, who I won't name, in Scotland, who put their Women's Championship on a man, and it did not go down well at all. And Sara having to face Maki, the bell's rung, so it's an official match, but she's not showing any fear whatsoever. Now, we saw Maki 2 weeks ago right here in Wrestling Showdown Rewind. He was in that very memorable triple threat match with Bad Boy Liam Thompson and the Governor Carl Conroy, and of course it's 1-on-1. Hold on, and Maki, this is not what Sara was expecting. This is why Maki just drops it to the mat. Is sometimes referred to, or certainly was back then. And this is the May of 2008, should have pointed that earlier, that's when this match occurred. He was known as the Entertainer due to all these little things, and it threw people off because they'd go out and try and have a serious wrestling match, and Maki would do all these bits like dance and wrap himself up Johnny Saint style, and as a consequence people wouldn't know what to do, and it would allow him to gain the advantage that he's kind of continued doing throughout his career. So since his match that was here on Rewind 2 weeks ago, and then intervening months between then and this particular contest we're watching right now, he's continued to compete here in W3L. He's wrestled Carl Conroy 1-on-1, he's competing against Fight Club, whole bunch of things kept going, and now obviously he's got an opportunity, it seems, to potentially be Women's Champion. See how that goes. So he's got firm control of the arm here as Sara just backs him right into the corner. Oh, a reversal, and again, and again, and again. Right, multiple reversals. And Maki, he is just controlling this match, because this is not what Sara expected. Take him a couple of arm drags. We saw her on Rewind 6 weeks ago, not wrestling, but she was at ringside as Invincible battled Mike Musso. And that's kind of how she started her career. She was a valet for various people. She accompanied the likes of former tag team champions Los Perfitos to the ring. Oh, hold on, Maki's grabbed those pigtails. Maybe a mistake having a hair like that. She's valeted for Nathan Reynolds, whole bunch of people, and of course being at ringside, being up close and personal was really beneficial as she continued her training, and of course eventually she was able to put everything she'd watched and learned into practice and start competing. And as you know, of course, at the inaugural Resolution event in September of the prior year, that in 2007, she defeated Brittany, aka Paige in WWE these days, to become the first ever W3L Women's Champion. That's the championship she is holding at this moment, the one that she's apparently defending against Maki, possibly, I don't know. She sticks her foot right in his throat. And of course Sara is the matriarch of Scottish women's wrestling. She was around right at the start. We obviously saw Amy a few weeks or so ago with Nathan Reynolds. Amy, as we mentioned at the time, didn't really last as long as Sara did, but there was Sara wrestling, became the first women's champion. She really set the tone for Scottish female wrestlers, it has to be said. Going for a cover off the back of that side slam, or was it the side of that side slam? Anyway. And over her time in W3L, she ended up with 4 women's championship reigns, which is quite the amount. And she really dominated women's wrestling. Like, if you were a female wrestler and you were coming through in Scotland from maybe, it's the facebuster, from even like the following year of 2009. Hold on a second, but it goes for yet another cover on Maki. Clearly doesn't want to put too much pressure on him. minimising that body-on-body contact just in case. You never know what may happen. Bit of vox, that means that Mackie's shoulders are free to rise off the canvas, which is exactly what they did. But yeah, if you came around sort of like 2009 or onwards in Scottish wrestling, and you were a female competitor, Sara was the benchmark against which you were judged. You knew that at some point you'd have to face her, and you knew that if you could get past her, that was, you know, a high point in your career. And really, you had to have a strong match, a strong showing against her to be considered as being capable. When you look at the likes of the now Nikki Cross, of course, she wrestled Sara early in her career. Look where she's ended up. Of course, a lot of the females, the Scottish females at NXT UK have all crossed paths with Sara as well. Again, she was in many ways the matriarch of Scottish wrestling, still is. Of course, is the benchmark against which all other Scottish females have been judged, then and now. So they applied a surfboard. An aquatic theme there, seeing as Maki is dressed in a slightly pirate fashion. And Sara's making a mark here in W3L. Again, on Rewind you've only seen her once in that sort of managing capacity, so the first actual match she's wrestled here on Showdown. Maki, oh, lovely move, spins her in the backslide. That is not enough to put her down as of yet, and Maki slides to the floor, maybe a wise move. But she has competed. She's been in some singles matches, some tag team matches, often in mixed competition. She's been in like 6-man tags, she's been opposite Carmel, they've had male partners, that sort of thing. Maki, he's got a water pistol. I mean, is that technically a foreign object? I can't really tell. Maki, too busy watching the ref get that water pistol, Sara's flans over the clothesline. Nobody just gets a 2. Maybe if referee Clarence Mikado hadn't been on the floor, it would have been a different story. Sara has retained the Women's Championship a couple of times since winning it, of course, so they're going for another cover. She's beaten Carmel, she's beaten Brittany again. She even defeated Brittany and Saraya Knight in a triple threat contest. And obviously in the years leading away from this, from sort of after May of 2008 onwards, she would go on to face basically every female in Scotland. She could care to name and a bunch of others besides. As Maki goes to the floor again, he's going for another water pistol. And he has disappeared under the ring, and who knows what he's got under there. Consider it these days, he's invented that nursery crimes match where he comes up with sort of toys as weapons. We saw that at Wrestling 12, which is just now out on, God, on the WTL box office. And Maki, you can see where it started. Right here, there's another water pistol. And just charging it up. And is he going to fire it again? No, he now unloads across the referee's face. Oh, and he gets caught by Sara, who brains him with the water pistol. Referee did not see it, too busy cleaning his glasses. And Sara gets the pin. She smacked Maki with the pistol, which, remember, is full of water, so it's even heavier than normal. Sara taking advantage of Maki's fun aspect, dousing the referee. He couldn't see properly, his vision obscured, so Sara smacks Maki in the face with that water pistol, and she's, I'm assuming, retained the Women's Championship. So who knows whether Maki would have ever been the first Women's Champion that wasn't actually a woman. Who can say? But Maki's got his water gun back, so that's something, I suppose. What an effort though. I mean, again, it was an open challenge, and so he was wise to do it. Oh my God, look at this! It's the Prince of Pain! Look at the size of this man! He is 7 feet tall if he is an inch, and there's the diabolical Nurse of Pain at ringside. That is his blood that covers her outfit. He is an absolute monster, a genetic monstrosity. He's been on an absolute tear throughout W3L recently. He has crushed every single person in his path. Oh, now look at this! Applying this colossal crossface. Maki being wrenched in ways his body does not bend. And who can stop the Prince of Pain? He is a monster. He's a freak of genetic engineering. And he has attacked Maki. Why has his nurse not got him under control? He's not supposed to be out here at this point. This didn't involve him. And look! Here comes Invincible! A man not as tall as the Prince of Pain, but my god, he's just as big in his own way. Now, he hasn't been competing in the ring as much recently. He's trying to get the Prince to break it up. I'm not really surprised that Clarence Mikado hasn't attempted. And hold on, the Prince! Once Invincible gets in the ring, the Prince of Pain lets go. And these two mammoth men, two of the biggest men in Scottish wrestling, going eye to eye. And Invincible does not budge. Can the Prince of Pain knock this big man down? Gets him ahead of steam. Oh, but it's Invincible who strikes the clothesline, and the Prince of Pain, he exits the ring. The nurse telling him to leave. These two men, they are surely on a collision course.
Well, that got out of hand very quickly, didn't it? Not only do we end up having the very good Mr. UNG Maki, as we better known these days, answering the open challenge of the W3L Women's Champion Sara, then at the end of the match, out comes the Prince of Pain, the Invincible. Oh, it's all beginning to kick off there, wasn't it? That, of course, is just a taste of the amazing archival footage that we bring you every single week here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. Again, a lot of these matches never been seen before. We're bringing them to you here for free on the W3L network. If you subscribe, you'll be notified every Sunday at 12 when we bring you another edition of Wrestling Showdown Rewind. You'll also be notified when we bring you everything else that we bring you during the week here on the W3L network. Of course, Wednesdays at 8 PM I bring you DVD highlights, fans' choice. The series so far is all playlisted up on the network. On DVD highlights, fans' choice, I take a closer look at one of the amazing titles available for you to watch right now on the W3L box office and bring you one of the matches from it. So it's well worth seeing. Again, hit the subscribe button, you'll be notified this Wednesday 8 when there's a brand new episode. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other things up on the W3L network. Check out Mike Musso's Bitter Truth podcast. He's been heading back and doing a deep dive, as they say, into the archives. He did one looking at Resurrection, the second ever W3L event, again available to watch on the box office. And he went right in depth with all the matches, everybody on the show and the likes. It's well worth listening to, and he has more of those lined up, so keep an eye out for them. And that will do just until we can be back live in front of your very eyes, as they say, and bring you live pro wrestling. And these are our current dates. They are naturally subject to change. The ones from earlier this year we had to reschedule. Again, all original tickets are still valid, and we'll keep you updated as to when we keep having to reschedule these. Hopefully at some point we can actually bring them to you, but we'll see what's happening as we go along. Of course, Crafty Connoisseur will be supporting us when we're back up and on the road. Check them out. They've often got special offers and the links, so check out all their social media for that. Purchase something from their website, they will send it straight to you. You don't even have to leave the house, so make it one of their amazing purchases and tell them it will be sent. Hello, if you're making a purchase, pick yourself up a fan support package. Again, prices begin at only £5, so it's something for every budget. Helps you help us keep going while we can't bring you any live events. And of course you get a cheap ringside ticket or two, depending on how many you have purchased. You can get DVDs, signed posters, an exclusive video message from a W3L store of your choice. That is what the fan support package brings you. You've also got DVDs for sale via the website and a nice range of t-shirts, vests, hoodies, that sort of thing. All available in different designs. Get yourself involved in those. They are all from our website, which is w3lwrestling.com. Make your purchase and send it to the mailing list while you're at it. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us on Instagram. Of course, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Use that hashtag to tell us what you thought of the open challenge today. Did you expect that E.G. Maki was going to answer it? Did you expect that Sara was going to smack him in the head with a water pistol to beat him? Well, let us know what you think and then come back next week. And we'll have another edition of Wrestling Showdown Rewind this Sunday at 12 o'clock. And of course, this coming Wednesday, at 8 PM. It's DVD highlights, fans' choice. There's always something to watch right here on the W3L network.